UFC Fight Night Vegas 96, Cannonier versus Borralho just took place, and I'm going to go through the entire card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event, giving my reaction and breakdown to the entire card, starting with the early prelim opener of Wang Cong versus Victoria Leondardo. Now, Wang Cong has aura. This is a woman's prospect we can get behind in the flyweight division. Flatline KOs Victoria Leondardo with a 1-2 down the pipe, puts her away. She had a Joker face paint scheme going on in the build-up as well. She had a whole promo done. She learned a phrase in English that she could say that would sound cool. She's great. Amazing. Want to see more. Keep her active. Before the end of the year, get her back in there again. Build her slow. Give her another can. See if she flatlines them as well. And then we can start being off to the races. I want to see a real women's prospect with aura and hype. And Wang Cong, or Cong Wang, which roughly translates as gorilla cock. As people were spamming in my chat. Cong Wang, gorilla cock, has knocked out Victoria Leondardo bad. So, interesting stuff. We move on to another fight up the card. Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Josiane Nunes. Jacqueline Cavalcanti looked good. I thought she won the fight. Very close, though. I could see 1 and 3 being pretty competitive. But Cavalcanti was landing a better shots. Even though Josiane Nunes was more aggressive and swinging, coming forward and trying to put the pressure on Cavalcanti. Cavalcanti was a lot larger. Looks a lot like Brian Battle. Just going to say it. And landed a lot of straight punches. A lot of 1-2s, a lot of shots, a lot of knees. Good stinging shots throughout the fight. Won her overall the fight. And Josiane Nunes looks like that to lose. Crazy, unfortunate, but Cavalcanti gets the win. Didn't see that one come in. She was a lot larger than I thought she was going to be compared to Nunes, though. So that was a bit of a shock. But yeah, that's that fight. We move on. Viacheslav Borsshchev versus James Llontop. Now, this was a great fight. The numbers don't dictate how good of a fight this was, but it was non-stop war. They were out to get each other all the way through the fight. Now, the weird one about this is, if you score the round 1 knockdown after that blatant eye poke from James Llontop, he wins that round, but he shouldn't, right? It shouldn't be counted. Everything after the eye poke, once we found out it was an eye poke and the ref stepped in, everything should have been like, okay, afterwards, that don't really count. You didn't really drop him there because he really badly eye gouged Viacheslav Borsshchev. And Borsshchev outpointed him and outlanded him in that first round on damage. Round 2, Borsshchev won that round as well. Round 3, Llontop actually started to have a pretty good round for himself. And he just showed an amazing amount of toughness. That's the only thing I can say about James Llontop. I picked Borsshchev to win this one. His striking is just way better. And I love the way he strikes to the body and the head and keeps everything tight and compact. And it was a great fight. Great scrap. Start to finish. Round 2 and 3 got real scrappy. Borsshchev was landing really good low kicks and body shots and body kicks. And Llontop was mixing in some good body kicks towards the end and landing his own good shots. And there were momentum shifts towards the end of round 2. Llontop was doing good. And Borsshchev did great for the whole part of round 2. And round 3 was very back and forth. I had it Borsshchev 1 and 2. And Llontop maybe in the 3rd. I don't know. I'm spitting everywhere for some reason. I've been ill and I'm finally healthy. So I guess I'm salivated. Borsshchev wins. Great performance. Fight of the night, maybe. I don't know, though. There was a lot of good fights. We move on. Zachary Reese versus Jose Medina. Now, this was a vicious, vicious beatdown. 10-8 round in the first. I thought Zachary Reese was just beating the hell out of Jose Medina. And it was just another one of these skinny, fat Latin guys or Latino guys, Hispanic guys, whatever you want to say. They got chins, man. They got livers as well, by the sounds of things, because Zachary Reese was smacking him with some of the nastiest body shots. But fortunately for Jose Medina, MMA fighters, yeah, they're really Edmen Shahbazyan as well. MMA fighters are really mentally impaired. So when they hurt you to the body, they only target the head afterwards and never go to the body again. Even though they've just seen that they've hurt you to the body and you're wincing and covering up, holding your body, they will look for a finish by KO on the chin, which has not been wobbled, which has not been checked, which has not been compromised. They're dumb human beings. Was it great to watch Zachary Reese beat the hell out of him? Yes. Is it sad that Zachary Reese isn't undefeated because he lost to Cody Brundage? Yes, it's very sad. I wish that wasn't the case. Hopefully he can redeem that maybe next. Let's just do that to get that off his record because he is a really technical, good fighter for a middleweight. But man, it is tough to see someone hurt someone with a body shot and then just only attack the head afterwards. And Medina was tough. Toughed it out, took a lot of hard body shots, got taken down a bunch, had moments where he did maybe show a bit of sign of a momentum swing, but Zachary Reese kept it patient, kept it calm, kept the pressure on, and kept beating up on Jose Medina for 3 straight rounds. So, great win from him. We move on. Dennis Buzukja versus Francis Marshall. I went with Dennis Buzukja. Francis Marshall got it done. I will say that Dennis Buzukja kind of proved himself to be better. Round 1, they kind of neutralized a round where Marshall just sort of held him against a cage for the whole round in like a body lock around the back. And that was a bit uneventful, but that gave Marshall the first round. And at the start of the second round, Marshall dropped him. Now, other than that, Buzukja was getting his own way. In round 3, don't get me wrong, it wasn't as clear cut. It was a very close round, but I thought Buzukja was getting his own way. Round 2, towards the end of it, he started to actually really catch Marshall a lot. And I thought it was about to be a KO for Dennis Buzukja because he was building into the fight, landing his left hook over and over again, overhand right as well. But then his corner, Aljamain Sterling and some other random guy, told him to mix in a takedown in the third and shit like that. And then he had his hands up at the end of the fight. And I'm like, dude, you're blatantly down 2 rounds. You need a finish in this third round. Why are you mixing in takedowns to try and get control at the end? Swing with all you've got. You need this finish. Really uneventful, sad to watch. Great fight to watch. Really fun. But again, really dumb UFC fighters. Dumb dummies. Dumb fucking dumbasses. They all are. But good stuff for Francis Marshall. Young prospect. Got a win. Snapped his loss. That's good for him. And it's good to see him in the win column. Unfortunate for Buzukja though. We move on. Edmen Shahbazyan versus Gerald Meerschaert. Speaking of dummies. Round 1, very competitive round. Meerschaert's actually landing pretty good body shots and kicks to the body. And Edmen's landing punches to the body. And both the guys are kind of missing to the head on each other a little bit. But eventually in the second round, I believe it is, Edmen Shahbazyan hurts Gerald with a body shot. A punch to the body. Nasty. He knows he's hurt him to the body. Meerschaert covers up to the body. I think Edmen throws a knee and he covers up and Meerschaert is holding his body and he goes down. Oh, I'm so hurt to the body. And then Edmen throws nothing but follow-up shots to the head because he's a dumbass and they all are. Great fight. Amazing fight. This might have been card of the year. But god damn it, it hurts to see how dumb these UFC fighters are. And, yeah. Meerschaert gets him down in the second. He immediately gives up the arm triangle. And Meerschaert locks in the sub. And GM3 is coming off a win in 2024. You love to see it. 37-17 now in his career. I think he makes something like 100,000 to show, 100,000 to win, $250,000 if he wins. So really good for Gerald Meerschaert to make some more bank. But Edmen Shahbazyan, man, you have hurt him to the body. You've just landed a body shot. You were even targeting the body the whole fight. It was your game plan to target the body by the looks of things. You did nothing but target the body with that straight right hand. Eventually, you landed a good nice shovel hook with the right hand to the body. You see you have hurt him to the body. And you do nothing but punch him to the head to get a finish. Punch him. Hit him once to the body. He's done. You do not recover from that. He's hurt there. Hit him there again. You did not go to the body once after you hurt him there. You threw a bunch of shots to the head, gassing yourself out because you're dumb and UFC fighters are dumb. Sorry, they just are. They aren't like boxers. Top level boxers are elite. They pick their shots. They know what they're doing. Some of these guys have no fucking clarity. Insane. But Edmen Shahbazyan lost. Arm triangle win for Gerald Meerschaert. Out of nowhere. Great win for him. And I'm good for him because he's an older fighter and he's making some bank. So, good shit. GM3. The legend lives on. We move on up the card. Neil Magny versus Michael Morales. I was worried about this one, honestly. Now, Michael Morales starts off the fight with some really good low kicks, and I was like, yeah, Neil Magny doesn't address those ever. Here we go again. But then Magny gets a hold of him, and I'm like, oh, God, we've been here for a while now. We've been here for about 3 minutes now, Morales. And Magny's just holding on to Morales up against a cage, and I'm like, oh, God. Please don't be another Mike Mallet. You know what I mean? But he's not Canadian. He's not weak and pathetic. So he was good. He separated eventually, but did he? He didn't even really separate. What he did is he went for a really close range, Beyblade spinning elbow in the pocket, landed off the temple of Neil Magny, rocked him, and then he pounced on him, got on top, and followed up with some ground and pound, locked up the back, flattened him out, landed some good shots of ground and pound, and got the finish over Neil Magny in the first round. Good job, Michael Morales. You passed the gatekeeper of welterweight and are moving on into the rankings. So that's really good to see for Michael Morales. We needed prospects in the welterweight division, and Magny is normally a guy that can either spoil the party or be a very good welcome mat for a lot of these guys. So Michael Morales, 17-0, undefeated still. Beats Neil Magny by first round TKO, and I'm glad because it could have been a stinky performance otherwise. I'm glad he landed that elbow off the temple of Neil Magny. I didn't even see it at first, but it landed good right on the temple. So good job, Michael Morales. We move on. Kaan Ofli versus Mairon Santos. Now, Mairon Santos is a savage. I saw him on the Ultimate Fighter. I knew he was going to win it from the start. I've been saying this guy's going to win, and he won. He won tough. Good for him. Kaan Ofli was pushing him, trying to break him, put pressure on him, get the grappling going. But Kaan Ofli's game is good for like a 2-round bully sesh on tough. Mairon Santos works into fights. His shot selection's really good. His low kicks were nasty, taking Kaan Ofli off of his feet. And really stinging him with good front kicks to the body and good shots in general and straight punches and just really nice stuff to watch from Mairon Santos. Like really clean shot selection, kept it simple, kept it good. And then eventually Kaan Ofli was like, right, I'm losing. I've lost the first round. I'm losing the second round. I need to go for something here. So he rushed in for like a big exchange, and then boom, Mairon Santos catches him. Right hook, left hook, straight on the chin. Drops Kaan Ofli badly. Could have been a walk-off KO, but he followed up anyway. We'll get to the main event in a second. And nasty win from Mairon Santos, winning tough. We move on. Up the card, Robert Valentin versus Ryan Loder. I went with Robert Valentin. I was wrong on this one. I thought he'd be able to sort of miraculously pull off a submission. And to be fair, it looked like he nearly actually had it. Now, round one, Loder gets the takedown. And, yeah, he's an NPC wrestler. I hate that he won. I wish Valentin won. He's so much cooler as a personality, but it's all good. Ryan Loder got the takedown early in the first. Had the arm trapped in some weird ways. Like he was going for an arm lock where he was getting it with the legs. It was like a key lock. I don't even know what it was. But Valentin got one of his own on the, what's it called? On Tough. He got one of his own submissions like that. And it was like, oh, wow, he's going to get Valentin with Valentin's sub that he got. But Valentin powered out of it, breaking his own arm in the process by the looks of things. Because when they got back to the corner in the first round, he was telling his corner, put ice on my arm. My arm's fucked. So he powered out of this arm lock from that position where he was like getting like Kimura in him, Americana in him with the fucking legs. And yeah, really nasty stuff from Ryan Loder. But Robert Valentin survived, got to the back, had Ryan Loder in all sorts of danger, looking for the rear naked, looking for this, looking for that, looking at the body triangle. I guess his arm was cooked, so he couldn't finish it, or he just couldn't get it under the chin. It looked like it could have been, but Loder was punching, so it wasn't. But yeah, Valentin couldn't get the choke in the first. Eventually, Loder got back on top, landed a few elbows, so I gave the first to him. And then round two, he got the crucifix. Valentin can't defend anything anymore. So he just lays there and has to accept the boring crucifix bullshit. NPC, TKO. Well done, you won tough. Oh, my fucking family, man. I'm just a family guy, you know. Shout out to my sister, you know. Valentin would have been screaming to the Norse gods if he won. But no, Loder wins. Well done and good luck starting your middleweight career at 33 years of age at the bottom of the rankings. For fuck's sake, if you're over 30, just fuck off and let young fighters have a chance, man. Annoying ass D1 wrestlers. Sorry. Great win from Loder. He won tough. I'm sure he's proud. Fucking hell. We move on. Angela Hill versus Tabatha Ricci. I thought Angela Hill won the fight very clearly based on the second and third round, but Tabatha Ricci's hot, and if she gets a takedown at the end of any of the rounds, she gets it. And that's women's MMA, right? It was a very sloppy fight. I don't think anyone really landed anything too good or clean. Let me see if this one fighted tonight. I swear to God if it did. Let me just check real quick. No, obviously the main event did, of course. Good. I was going to say, they would have given it to this. It was a good scrappy fight. They threw a lot. They were in the pocket a lot. But yeah, very messy. No one really landed anything clean. I thought only Angela Hill was landing clean in the second and third. And Ricci gets another win. Another one. I don't know if Ricci's ever had a good win where I've been like, wow, that was a good, clear win. It's rare. But yeah, good for her. She got a fat ass. Nice. Toned. Good shape. Good cut at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? The way it fucking cuts off. Really cups in towards the legs. Good. But yeah, really sloppy fight. Fun because it was like, whoa, it's like you could hear circus music playing when it was going on. But yeah, she won. Tabatha Ricci. I'm telling you, if it's close and a girl gets a takedown at the end of the round, she's winning the round. So maybe I should just be like, who's going to shoot a takedown at the end of the round when it comes to women's MMA? And I think it's going to be close. Maybe that's how I should start doing it. But yeah, good for Tabatha Ricci. She won. We move on. Gerald Cannonier versus Caio Borralho. Now, this was a great fight. I love this fight. Round one, I thought Borralho was going to shoot takedowns. He didn't shoot a single takedown. Middleweight IQ right here. Didn't shoot a single takedown on Caio Borralho, on Gerald Cannonier at all. I think one time he shot a fake one in like round 4. But round 1, he starts it off. Good low kicks. Really good low kicks. Cannonier's landing some good hooks. But Borralho's rolling with shots really well throughout the fight. Now, in other moments, he was getting hit clean. But he was rolling very well. He was keeping his hands high. He was defending very well. And he was doing really good rolls. And he was making sure that Cannonier wasn't catching him going into shots and wasn't like spinning his jaw. Really good job by Borralho there, staying defensively responsible. The low kicks were money for him. I actually think the low kicks really affected Cannonier in this fight because he started to hobble around a bit as the fight went on. But round 1, I gave to Caio Borralho. Round 2, I gave to Gerald Cannonier. He started to have his own success. And I was like, when is Borralho going to shoot? He's not doing it. Oh, well. Round 3, Borralho turns it back around. It seemed like once he got the center of the cage and pushed Cannonier back, it was all him. So he was landing good front kicks to the body, good low kicks. And Cannonier was landing good back. And they were all competitive rounds. But Borralho was staying just a little bit ahead in the third. Landing stiff jabs. The jab was there all night for him. Cannonier was getting sort of stumbled off balance by it a few times, and that's not a good look for the judges, obviously. Borralho wasn't letting his right hand go. He really wasn't letting his right hand go until the end of the third, where he did, and he actually hurt Gerald Cannonier with a 1-2, and Cannonier's wobbled. Jelly-legged, Borralho goes for him a little bit too late at the end of the round. It feels like Cannonier's about to get cooked. Round 4, Cannonier has a really good round. Very competitive still. Both guys landing. Low kicks from both. Cannonier's landing good hooks upstairs, good overhands. Borralho's stinging him with his jab still. That was his main weapon in the fight. And eventually in that round, Cannonier cuts open Borralho with a big cut. And that gives Cannonier the round, in my opinion. So really good job from Cannonier in the 4th round to turn that around because I thought he was cooked. In that 3rd round, I thought, okay, this is the beginning of the end. Borralho's about to put it on him. But no, Cannonier stood his ground. Incredibly tough. But kept taking those low kicks. And they kept making him stumble over himself. And hobble around. And start to take back steps. And he couldn't hold the center as much. Because he couldn't put weight on his lead leg. And trudge forward as he normally does. And put power. And throw shots over the lead. And seemed like Borralho was getting the center a bit more. Backing him up. Stinging him with the jab a lot more. But round 4 was actually Gerald Cannonier's round because of that damage, because the cut was really bad under the eye of Borralho. Round 5, though, Borralho comes out. Very competitive round to start, but now Borralho's doing his thing, actually. Having a much better round 5. Stinging him with a jab, landing lead hooks. starting to try and put combinations together, making Cannonier miss and popping back in with a good jab and a body shot and a low kick. He was really doing well at riding the flow of the fight and rolling with Cannonier and throwing back afterwards and finding himself back in the pocket. Good, effective work from Caio Borralho. And then, this is what we were waiting for in terms of the recap. He lands a solid, I think he landed a lead hook off the right. Then he landed a 1-2 and he fucking splattered blood out of Cannonier's nose and snot. And Cannonier's out cold like Impa Kasangane after Buckley hit him with that kick. That's how bad Cannonier was out. Ready to slow-mo fall backwards. Borralho brings him back to life with the ground and pound. If he would have walked off after that, they would have stopped it. They could have stopped it. He would have been out cold on the canvas, just laying there, I think. I don't think he would have been with us. But Borralho jumps on him and starts going for the finish. And then Cannonier's like, oh, God, I'm back. Like, he's punched me back awake. Let me try and stay in this. And then Borralho gets stuck in like a bad arm triangle. And Cannonier tries to work his way back into the fight. And incredible toughness from Jared Cannonier. But what a crazy ending to a great 5-round scrap in the main event. I'm glad both of them got 50K. It was worth it. And great job by Borralho, man. His jab looked good. He didn't need to shoot any takedowns. That's big for him. Fighting nerds. They keep winning. And Borralho's leading the charge up the rankings. And he's going to be looking for a top 5 fight. And maybe, who knows, it could be his title elimination bout. So we'll see. There's a bit of a logjam right now. We got the Strickland rematch, which shouldn't really, who knows if it should be happening. But we've also got Chimaev Whitaker, which I think the winner of that should get a title shot. And then, you know, there's a lot going on in the middleweight division. So maybe they do him versus Amavov, delay things a little bit, slow it down, bring him back mid next year maybe. And then we'll go from there. But sad for Cannonier. Maybe you should take a step back, fight a guy like Delidze. But Borralho, man, his jab looked good. His shoulder rolls were good. His boxing defense was good. And that finishing sequence at the end, that was a KO win. It's the most KO win I've seen that went to a decision. Couldn't believe Cannonier was still in there. Props to him, but sucks. He's 40. He's not probably going to work his way back up the ladder, so sucks to be Jared Cannonier right now, but good job, Borralho. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle Pip. I'll see you later. Goodbye.